Hello, everyone. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, brother. I'm sorry, Carter. I don't have your audio. Please stand by, everyone, for these technical issues. 1 minute.
Hello?
We got it. We got it. Okay.
Nice.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
And it just puts right
Dude.
there. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Larter Show, uh, Larter Ocean.
Yeah, Larter Ocean. I I saw that we hadn't changed the stream title from last time, and I was like, we gotta change it, and Lars was just like Larter Ocean. So yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we're gonna
Larter
talk
Ocean for
about
this episode.
Frank Ocean, if you couldn't guess it from my illustration to the right
Yeah,
of us.
that's Frank Ocean on the screen.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay,
If you
I gotta get into Larter show mode.
okay.
Dude,
Also I
I
just
am
want to check,
so
can anyone can y'all hear us, or is all the audio and video working? Please drop a Z in chat if you can hear us and see us. It'll probably take a minute, but yeah, sorry. You were saying?
I am so excited for this episode.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay,
I
people can see us. That good.
Yeah, we got a C and a Z. I think people heard two different things, but that's
Okay,
fine.
that works.
That works. I so yeah, we're talking about the album Blonde, the
hmm
26th this sophomore album by what state is he from? I don't even fucking know.
I'd assume
Frank Ocean.
California.
Let's see. I could look this up real quick. California.
Knew
Frank
it.
Ocean. Frank Ocean's Blonde,
hmm
uh, which is my favorite album of all time, which is something that I kind of grew to figure out recently. Uh,
And I've never heard
and
it before now,
so
for
yeah, it's kind of
reference.
Lars was saying this last time, but it's like kind of the flip of last time,
hmm
where it's like, last time uh, Lars was more experienced. I mean, Lars was more experienced with I Saw the TV Glow, and I had just finished watching it. But this time is a little different because I know this album pretty well. There's still a lot I can learn about it because it's a very like dense album. But Lars, I think he heard it for the first time this week,
Yep.
and he listened to it a few
hmm
times,
hmm
which which I gotta say, I'm very happy about. I'm very happy I could introduce this to you because like it really does mean a lot to me. Uh, and I'm just excited to talk about it, man.
Hell yeah. All right.
First thing I want to ask is, what do you think of it? What do you think of the album?
I thought it was pretty good. Pretty good
Pretty
album.
good?
Pretty good. Yeah. Um, Not my favorite album of all time, unfortunately. Sorry.
Oh
Uh,
man.
but yeah, no, I did enjoy it. I think if I listened to this around the time that I was like really listening to Tyler the Creator a lot, like listening to, like Igor and Flower Boy and all that, I think this could have been at some point like one of my favorite albums of all time. Um, but I think I'm just predisposed right now to not being into this like sonic vibe, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah,
I've been listening to other types of music recently.
yeah, it's something you kind of like. Is this one of the albums that like throughout my music listening has grown on me the most, just in general.
Mm-hmm.
And and at first, I think it was kind of that sonic palette, like just like how it sounded, that kind of like pushed me away from the album a little bit. Because this album, because like Channel Orange is his first album.
Mm.
He
Yeah.
had a mixtape before that, Nostalgia Ultra, but Channel Orange was his first album, and it's like, and I'm not saying this as an insult or anything, but it's like more of a traditional like R&B soul album.
Mm.
It's got its like strange moments. It's got like Pyramids, which is like a 9 minute like song, and it's like really progressive and cool. And but
Like woke or
like
like
prog,
King Crimson.
like King Crimson kind of.
Okay.
It's like it's
Cool.
cool. It's a really cool song, but
But what was that?
it was 2012 and Blonde was
Wait.
2016.
Oh, snap. Sorry, folks. Give me 1 minute. Okay, folks, we'll be connecting back with Carter in just a moment. Unfortunately, my Discord crashed. Okay,
Oh,
let's
I
see.
think I can hear you.
Got you hear me? All
Yeah.
right, all right, we're back. Doink. Yep.
Okay. All
Alrighty.
right.
Sorry about
Thank
that
God.
interruption, as you were saying.
The show must go on.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so yeah, Blonde, strange. It's like there are like moments that kind of like pass through to like it is like a very popular album. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah, I didn't
and
realize
like
how popular it was. I saw like one of the songs has like over 1 billion
yeah, Pink and
listens.
White has a
It's
billion streams.
crazy. Yeah.
And that song is like the most digestible on,
Mm.
so it makes sense that that's kind of the big one. But
Yeah.
like you get into like some of the tracks on this album, like especially on the second half, and it gets like really strange and like
Yeah.
off-putting,
Mm-hmm.
and like they're like most of the uh tracks, like a lot of them don't have any like drums or like percussion in general,
Yeah.
and it's just like
I
there's a
didn't think
lot
of
a
that.
lot of just like interesting production choices that initially I kind of just like the way the songs were structured and just it kind of just like was very off-putting to me.
Mm.
And I think part of me also felt that the album was like kind of underdeveloped in
Yeah.
some ways,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
but it's just like kind of as as I've grown with this album and like listened to it more, I kind of realize just how much like those like kind of scrappy elements and like the kind of meandering moments of the album, the weirder moments, kind of just like make the album more genuine and
Mm.
like really like beautiful. And
Yeah.
it's just it's such like a personal like deep album that like really nothing else sounds like it. And I just I just grew to really love it, and now like I listen to this album. I've been listening to this album like week,
Really.
and that's like more. I don't listen. The last time I listened to an album that much was like Pinkerton in like high school.
Nice.
So like I'm just I this album has begun to mean so much to me,
Mm.
and I love it, and I'm glad you like it. But I hope that
You hope that I love it one day.
I hope that you do. I hope I could maybe help you appreciate it more on this
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, I think it is important to note that I don't have like any context for this album, I guess. I've never listened to Frank Ocean before. Like I think I mentioned earlier, I listened to Tyler the Creator quite a bit back in the day. I still listen to his stuff every now and then. But yeah, I have never listened to Odd Future. So all I know about Frank Ocean is that I think people said he's gay and like this
He's
album was supposed to be
yeah.
good. That's about all
Yeah.
I know.
What's the thing that Tyler said when Frank came out? He said that Frank always liked Pop Tarts without frosting, so he knew something was up.
Nice.
That's classic Tyler.
Awesome.
But yeah, Frank Ocean was part of Odd Future,
Hmm.
which Odd Future was the collective early 2010s, I think it started late 2000s. Kind of just a bunch of like teenagers coming together and making these like kind of edgy edgy like rap music. It was pretty big like underground stuff.
I
And
know
like the,
Tyler said a lot of slurs back in the
Tyler did
day.
say a lot of slurs.
Yeah.
And so like the three big ones from Odd Future were like Tyler Earl and Frank Ocean,
Hmm.
and
Oh
all
yeah, I
three of
guess
those
I've also
artists.
listened to Earl Sweatshirt a decent amount. But yeah, I forgot he was in Odd Future.
Yeah, and all three of those artists have like kind of grown to have such like fantastic solo careers.
Yeah.
Like Earl is doing something like completely different than like he's just like in his own lane now. Tyler is like really expanded his sound, matured a ton over the years. Like obviously he came out and like now is incorporating his sexuality into his music. And
Hmm.
I think Frank Ocean like at the beginning was generally the most like respected one because Channel Orange is a very like critically acclaimed album.
Yeah.
Uh had like genuine like pop hits on it. Uh and then Blonde came
Hmm.
out in 2016, which honestly like I was gonna look more into like the release of this album. I kind of forgot to do that. Like uh But I know it like like the album was originally going to be called Boys Don't Cry, I think.
Oh,
And
interesting.
there was like so I think what happened was so there's like a companion album called Endless
Hmm.
uh to Blonde, and
Interesting.
what happened was Frank did this like live stream of him just like building the staircase to the ceiling of like this warehouse, and it lasted like a week. I don't know.
Huh.
It was like this weird moment,
Okay.
and everyone was like, "Oh my God, this is the hype up to the new album, the new album, the new album." And then the stream ended when he finished the staircase. He went to the top of the staircase, and the stream ended. And
Huh.
then nothing happened. But
That's awesome.
the
Carter.
next day,
Oh,
Blonde released, and I just think like that's
oh.
interesting and strange. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
For a moment I couldn't, but I wasn't sure if it was a dramatic pause or you cut out, but I think you're good now.
Yeah, I might have gotten some of that context wrong, but I know it was something like that where it was like
Okay.
the staircase and like long live stream. The live stream just kind of ended and then Blonde released. I
Hmm.
think was the gist of it.
Interesting.
And so yeah, and Blonde I'm pretty sure was very critically acclaimed when it came out, but it's also like obviously a difficult album in a lot of ways. So it's I think like over the years, like time has really cemented this album as a classic, like a modern classic, and uh, and especially now because Frank Ocean has barely released any music since then.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is like he's released some singles,
Hmm.
and I think he had some like guest verses on stuff. But like in the 2020s, he's basically released nothing.
Hmm.
Uh, and a lot of people are like really mad at him about that.
Yeah.
I know his brother died in 2020,
Oh
which
my
is like
gosh.
horrible. He
Dang.
was yeah, his brother was like 18 and then died in a car crash.
Jeez. How can you be
So
mad at an artist for not making music though? Like, I don't know. It's up to them. That doesn't make
yeah,
sense to
that's kind
me.
of what like and I've been seeing this with like people getting mad at Tyler because he put out a statement recently because people were asking him about a new album and he was like, I don't know, he said something along the lines of, like I just kind of want to vibe right now and people were like mad at him. And I'm like, he doesn't owe you music.
Yeah, it's so strange.
He, like I get it, but like he's a person, like he doesn't and he's still releasing I don't know, that's a tangent. But I guess like a good starting off point for this album talking about it, I want to ask you
Mm-hmm.
what are some standout tracks? Do you have like a favorite track on this album?
Uh, let
Tracks
me
that really stood out to you?
let me look at the list. We were just talking before we started. I like the solo reprise. Um,
Yeah,
I'm s-
which I was gonna mention.
yeah.
That's the one like there's like backing vocals from like I think Beyonce has backing vocals on one song.
Oh wow, okay.
Uh, interestingly, and I didn't know this until today, Young Lean has backing vocals on like two
Whoa.
tracks.
Dang, okay.
Uh, I read that I think it's actually solo. Uh, Kanye says like one word
Okay.
on like one song, and
Okay.
he has like a writer's credit on the song. It's funny.
Wow.
But Solo Reprise is the one guest feature on the album, and it is Andre 3000 from Outkast.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know
Uh,
that. Wow.
and it was like one of the best, like one of the greatest of all time. Like he's in that
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Uh, he was also on Channel Orange.
Hmm.
But like I think it's an interesting decision that like the album is Frank and like some background vocalist and stuff, and then just like the one guest verse, he trusted like Andre enough to like
Yeah.
deliver it, and I think it, and honestly, it's like one of my favorite rap verses of all time. Is that verse? It's so good.
Yeah,
He's
it
like
is.
I was like listening to it and like looking at like the rhyme structure of it, and it's insane. He
Yeah.
like the what he gets into is so is so crazy, and like
Okay, wait, can I ask a question? I mean, maybe
yeah,
someone could answer this in the chat. Are we allowed to play music here in like small clips and small quantities? I mean, I
maybe.
just because I'm thinking like I know Anthony Fantano streams music and reacts to it, but I could be wrong.
I think it could be risky. I think we need to
Yeah,
like
I'm
do
not
some more
gonna risk
research about
anything for
that.
now, but I'd just be curious to know because it might be chill to do that. Or I was thinking at some point we could have like royalty-free music uh playing for like the intro sequence. But sorry,
Who's
that's
like the
oh
who's like the oh, Two Dog House? Yes. Unsure. I know the big
oh
issue is having music. That's what I was
yeah,
thinking.
that's a
It's
good
like
point. Yeah.
we're gonna like I think those like moments on the VODs get like muted
Yep,
like pretty often.
exactly. Also, thank you for the first time chat to Doghouse CS. I think I know who
Thank
that
you.
is. Yeah. And also thank you, Zeph, for
Uh,
your comments as well. Sorry we're not addressing most of them, but yeah.
yeah. Uh, yeah. Solo reprise is it reprise or reprise? I always forget how to
I
pronounce
thought
it.
it was reprise, but I could be wrong.
I think it's reprise, but it doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Yeah.
Thought I heard something. Uh,
I'm looking at
but
the
for
lyrics
me,
now.
yeah, it's under the skirt of an.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
that's the part I remember the most.
but for me, I guess some of my favorite tracks on the album, uh, ones that stand. There's four that really stand. I mean, there's so many great songs on
There's
this
one
album. Like
more. There's another one, like the closing track.
Oh, Future of Free.
Yeah, that one was impactful to me as well. And like the little spoken word section about not
Oh
smoking
yes.
weed was awesome, I
Oh
thought.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that because
Be yourself.
I think I think like the like interludes because each interlude has like that little backing track that do I can't
Yeah,
like
I
do
know what
it
you're
but like
talking about with the piano and all that.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's so beautiful and like makes me
Yeah.
emotional. But like at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like what's over it. I think this is like the album's kind of like sense of humor is in a lot of these like interludes because you know one of them's like I ain't fucking bitches no more. I ever
Yeah,
since Jasmine
I
record
heard
I
that.
heard.
Yeah, that like
Uh,
took me out for a moment when I heard
I
it.
like I like the Facebook one a lot.
Yeah.
It's like I met this girl and she it's like this French producer named
Yeah.
Sebastian, like talking about how like he uh dated this woman and he was like in front of her and the woman was like, "Can you add me on Facebook?" And he was like, "No, I'm like right in front of you," and she broke up with him. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I like
Uh,
I honestly didn't understand what he was saying because of the accent and I wasn't like listening that hard.
that's
But
fair. That's fair.
yeah.
Uh,
That's funny though.
but Be Yourself is funny because he goes like, well, because like that, there's that. It's like a phone call from one of like his friends' aunts, Frank
Yeah.
Ocean's friends' aunts, something like that.
Yeah.
Like talking to him about like, hey, don't do drugs, don't do alcohol. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna become sluggish, lazy, and slow. And then Solo comes in, and the first lines of that song are like, hand me a down, dirty dancing, got off tabs. He's like talking about doing drugs like immediately.
Yeah.
I just love that. I love that contrast. And Solo is one of the most beautiful songs on the album. That's one that like really like stood out to me when I was first really getting into it.
Yeah.
Uh, that's kind of like the first. I think like the thing about this album is that it's kind of separated into two halves, where you have
Mm.
like the first half, which is the more like it's got like we're kind of like every song is a hitter. You know, you have like
Yeah.
Nikes, then you have like straight to Ivy. Uh, oh, I was gonna mention this. There's so much stuff that's gonna like you're gonna think this is so cool. You know who
Okay.
plays guitar in certain songs on this album?
Uh, no.
Alex G.
Whoa, really? That's actually crazy
Yeah.
because I was just doing like a deep dive on Alex G's albums like literally this week. That's so crazy. I can hear it though. Like on the
Uh,
last song, I feel like there's a little guitar loop or something that felt
I
Alex
forget.
G-esque.
I forget exactly which song. I know it's Self
Yeah.
Control, which is
Mm.
my favorite song on the album.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah.
he does that little guitar playing at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think he plays it on some other ones, but yeah, that's like such a cool like crossover.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a random one, but I know like
And that's also a
uh
crossover from last week's episode, which had Alex G doing the
yeah,
soundtrack.
exactly. He also got like these cool like vocal interpolations throughout the album.
Hmm.
I know that White Ferrari has a Beatles interpolation.
Whoa,
Uh,
that's cool.
it interpolates Here, There, and Everywhere off of Revolver. You know the part where he's like spending each day of the year.
Yeah, I think so.
White
Yeah.
Ferrari. Yeah, that's Beatles interpolation.
Wow.
There's also some sampling. There's an Elliott Smith
Mm.
interpolation at some point. Uh, just stuff like that. But no, the first half of the album is like the more melodic. Like it's kind of the album is mostly like a breakup album. That's kind of like very simplistic
Yeah.
view of the album, but like that's generally the vibe. And like kind of the first half is him kind of reminiscing, kind of like about he talks about multiple relationships throughout the album, but there's like one focal one.
Mm.
The first half of the album is him kind of reminiscing on this. And then Nights comes in, which is like kind of the two-parter. Um,
Yeah.
you know, like the with the Every night, shit, every day, shit, shut the fuck up, I don't want you to converse. You remember that one?
Yeah, I think so.
There's a beat switch in that song, and that beat switch kind of marks the album's like darker turn. And
Hmm.
this is
This is what exactly? Um, you there? Oh, don't tell me
this
Discord's
up
gonna
about
cry.
this album,
Oh,
but I think it's so cool that
wait, can you
30-minute
hear me?
mark.
Wait,
Wait,
pause.
I can hear you.
Okay, I didn't
I
hear
can
you
hear
for
you.
the last like 10 seconds or 20 seconds. So, uh,
Oh, this episode's gonna be a little
rewind.
scrappy.
Sorry about the scrappiness. I don't know what it is. I think it's my computer. Can't
Uh,
afford a new one, but hopefully it won't happen next time.
it's fine. It's we're vibing, but the album is exactly an hour long,
Hmm.
and the beat switch on Nights
Hmm.
happens exactly on the 30-minute mark.
Oh,
It
I
happens
see.
exactly halfway through the album, and
Zach,
that
are
is
you
where the
doing
album.
this? Are you messing with my computer?
I can't believe you.
Well, thanks for apologizing. As long as you don't do it again, it's fine.
You're not doing
Sorry.
anything. I love
Uh,
you, Zeph.
go
Uh,
ahead, Carter.
but uh, yeah, the album
It switches
skips
up
after that.
exactly at the middle point.
Yeah, and then like especially with like especially starting with White Ferrari
Hmm. With White Ferrari.
interpretation of the album that like White Ferrari 3, those White Ferrari, Siegfried, and Godspeed, those three songs are him experiencing the five stages of grief.
Oh, okay. I
And
see.
like I could hear it where like White Ferrari is kind of like the denial
Hmm.
stage.
Yeah.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think I can hear you. Hold up. Okay, it's definitely Discord that's causing the issue, I'm realizing now. That old Discord. Can't live it. Can't live with it. Can't live
Yes.
without it. Okay. Uh, well, perhaps in the future we can use Zoom, seeing as how unreliable this is proving to be. Well, while we're waiting, uh, guess I'll tell y'all about my week. Just been
Oh, I
go
can hear
ahead.
you. I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Wait.
Maybe okay, did yeah, hopefully it won't happen again. But I think maybe in the future we'll try using not Discord to see if that helps things. All right, floor is yours. Ah.
Fuck.
Oh.
Oh, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Oh, encoding overloaded. Can you hear me now? Can you speak?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, go on ahead now.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm. Uh, no, literally the instant you start talking, something happens. Oh, well, as I was saying,
Fuck.
oh, oh wait, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I can hear you.
If this happens two more times, then we're gonna switch to something else, I think. But in the
Okay.
meantime, please speak as you're able.
Okay. So yeah, I was kind of saying those three
Oh,
songs.
okay, sorry. For a second you cut out. Go ahead. Bro. Okay. Well, I think it's about time I look for something besides Discord. Um, so chat. What do y'all think? What should we use instead of Discord to talk to one another? My first thought is Zoom. Oh, I could restart my Discord. That's what uh, Carter suggested. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
try that.
there you are. Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, but
Okay. So y'all are not gonna see me for a sec, but you will hear me. If I'm able to even click on Discord. Sorry, I know this is your moment here, and it's being kind of fucked over by Discord, but
no, I get it. I get it.
yeah, yeah, the show must go on. Here, I'm gonna quit, and I'll be right back. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Uh, quitting now. Should have quit by this point, but I'm still here, so yeah. Uh, so yeah, this is rather unfortunate. Oh, okay. I don't think I turned off my computer since the last stream, so it's very possible that it's slow because I haven't turned it off. I don't know. All you tech enjoyers out there, maybe give some new streamers some tips here. What should I do to try to fix this issue? But yeah, listen to that new Charlie XCX album. Pretty good. I like all the remixes. Uh, I really like um the one that was a tribute to Sophie that AG Cook was on. But yeah, I also liked Blade. Um, it's interesting because I've not really been a drainer for most of my life, but I have uh tangentially had Blade. Like every time he's come out with a new album, I've listened to it and I've enjoyed it, but I've never actually considered myself a fan. Um, I'm going to see Blade at the end of this month, and I am looking forward to it, but yeah, I've always just been a casual fan, and I've had a lot of drain pals who've got me to really appreciate him, I think. All right, let's see. Should be reconnecting shortly now. Let's see here. Okay, looks like we're good. All right. I'm gonna pop out my video here. Thank you, folks, for your patience. Uh, and yeah, that's me right there. Um, Now we're just waiting on good old Carter. So, oh,
Hello.
hey.
Okay.
Uh, all right, let me have it in the same view as before. All right, sorry.
I heard
We,
you saying, I was just listening to the thing real quick.
yeah,
You're going to the Blade concert?
yeah.
It's on my birthday. I don't know if I can get tickets yet.
You
Like if
could
I
get,
can
no,
even
actually,
get.
I know for a fact you can get tickets because I know someone who said they have tickets, but they said they didn't want to go, I think. I
Okay.
know there's someone that we know that's wanting to sell it. I don't remember who it was, but I know someone was. So we can make it happen. We can make it happen, I'm sure.
I see this website or it's Ticketmaster, so it kind of sucks, but it's
Yeah.
$35.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You can, yeah. Should be good then.
But okay, I think we're good now. It seems like
Yeah,
it.
let's hope. Let's just while we're live, I'll hand it back to you.
Uh,
As you were saying about Frank Ocean's album Blonde.
yeah. So I was kind of getting at the songs White Ferrari, Siegfried, and Godspeed, which is kind of where the album takes the really strange turn
Hmm.
sonically. Siegfried is a strange song. Uh, like that song really just kind of that's one of the ones that was really off-putting for me, I remember. just because like it doesn't really have a core structure. It's just kind of like that's one of the ones that really meanders.
Yeah.
And but like I was listening to it today, like, and I love that song. It's not one I listen to like outside of the album, but like in the context of the album, I love it like so
Mm.
much. And I was just like listening to that song and like the textural work there is
Mm-hmm.
so cool, beautiful. But like
Yeah.
but like what I was saying about those three songs is that that's kind of like an interpretation I've heard is that that's kind of Frank Ocean after like his breakup going through the five stages of grief,
Mm-hmm.
where White Ferrari is kind of the denial.
Mm.
It's kind of like, oh, I just kind of like looking at like all these like moments of his relationship, and then like Siegfried is the anger, the bargaining, and the depression, all three of those things.
Nice.
And then Godspeed is the acceptance, or I
Mm.
think Godspeed is kind of like the this beautiful like kind of where it all comes around, uh, and it's sort of like, hey, it's kind of like I've accepted this breakup is happening. We're gonna go our separate ways, and that's kind of like where he's like, I'm wishing you Godspeed,
Mm.
like, and I those three songs are just some of like that's just like some of the most powerful like music ever. And again, it's a Future of Free, which I think is a really underrated song.
Yeah, I mean that was one of the ones that stuck out to me that I really enjoyed.
It's
Um,
kind of like it's kind of like a the first half where it's like the actual song part is kind of like a victory lap, I feel like, for
mm.
him. It's kind of like him showing where he is now, kind of like his thoughts on like the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
I think it serves more as an epilogue than anything. And then
Yeah.
I think like this like the portion at the end with this like the spoken word part is like him and one other person interviewing some of his like classmates and
Yeah.
like when they were in school. And I think like that part is like weirdly one of the most like powerful moments of the album.
Yeah.
Just because like I think like a big theme of this album is like kind of like looking back at your childhood and like nostalgia. And I just think like that being the ending of it is just like looking back at like this moment and like I think it's beautiful and like
Yeah.
I really love just like everything like it represents.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I that one also like struck me in particular. So, yeah, I don't think you're alone in that one.
I'm glad about that. I'm really glad that one stuck with you because that one is so people don't really talk about that one. I feel like
Nobody's talking
which
about
is
this, folks.
it's weird though because it's the closer, but it also
Yeah.
kind of like doesn't feel like the closer. It's
Yeah,
weird. I don't know.
it's not like super bombastic or anything for like an ending track. It's like kind of subtle, you know?
Yeah. But like God, I just like it's so good. The first half of the album, I was kind of going into detail in the second half, but the first half
Yeah.
is like I love the first half like so it's hard to choose like which half I like more because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the first half has more like hitters,
Mm-hmm.
like just songs that I absolutely love and some of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard.
Yeah.
But, like the second half, I feel like I appreciate it a little bit more on a concept. Not to say that the first half isn't conceptually great. I mean, this is my favorite album, so I love all of it. But like,
Yeah.
I
It's
think
definitely more
the
like experimental, I feel like, or like I don't know. The first half to me felt more like pop-y, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Uh, and the second half was less like put on in the background chill music, you know?
Pretty Sweet is an interesting one too. I think that's like, do you remember that song? That's kind of
Uh,
one of the less memorable ones.
I might recall that one, but yeah.
That's the one that like turns into a drum and bass song at the end of it.
Mm, yeah, 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 yeah.
It like I read that that song is like very inspired by A Day in the Life by the Beatles, which is more Beatles stuff,
Interesting.
where it kind of has like this bombastic like intro with like all the horns and strings, and it's just like meant to be overwhelming, and then it kind of goes into like a more palatable part.
Yeah.
Uh, God, I gotta get into the first half. So we
Okay.
have we have we have Nikes, which is the intro
Yeah.
track. Uh, this was like when I first really got it. Like when I first heard this album, I think this was the standout for me.
Hmm.
Uh, I love how he like pitches his vocals at the beginning. I think it's like a really interesting choice.
Yeah.
Just kind of like it's kind of an almost off-putting way like to start the album, but like
Yeah.
once it gets into kind of like the his like more like normally shifted vocals, like
Hmm.
it really like it's a really like cool song.
Yeah.
And then it goes straight from that song into Ivy, which that's where the album kind of like gets into like its stripped back territory because
Hmm.
Ivy is like such an what's cool about Ivy is that it's so like minimal. Like there
Yeah.
isn't like it's like mostly just like his voice, some like reverb, a guitar, and like I think occasional like synth hits.
Hmm.
Like it's that's pretty much like the whole song, but it's like his vocal performance really like takes that song over the edge for me.
Yeah.
That's one thing I love about this album so much, and that's why like Self Control is my favorite song on this album.
Hmm.
Is he's such an amazing vocalist.
Yeah.
Like I feel like in a lot of ways he's not like the most traditionally talented. Like but like I don't know how to like that sounds like mean, but like
Backhanded a little. But yeah.
what I mean though, like he's like
Yeah.
not like he's got like some rawness, some like when he hits those high notes or like
Yeah.
when he hits like that you could hear some like creaking in his voice a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
Like he's got like some imperfections to his voice, but I think that all adds to it. I think that
Yeah.
makes it more of like an emotional performance.
Hmm.
And like self-control is like such a perfect exemplification of that. And like that's the song where Alex G is
Uh,
playing at the beginning.
yeah.
And like that song is like so overwhelming emotionally for me. It's like
Hmm.
where when it goes to like the end part of that is like it's just something about that is just so beautiful and like so profound.
Yeah.
Uh Pink and White, which is the third song, is really good
That
also.
has
That's one
a
that
gorgillion amount of listens.
a billion views.
Yeah.
Uh I don't know, like that one kind of I think it's just because it's like the most straightforward like
Yeah.
song on the
When I
album.
listened to it, because I listened to, like, I took a few runs where I just, like, started with specific songs so I could kind of listen to them. And I did for that one, and I'm like, this song is, like, chill, but, like, I don't get why it has a billion views. Like, it doesn't, I don't know. I'm just surprised. I'm also just
I
surprised at how popular he is, because I feel like I don't typically hear people talking about him that much, but maybe it's just the circles I'm in.
I think that's probably it. It's also just because of how long it's been since he's released music.
Yeah.
Like he's not as much in the conversation these days because he's just like been out of it for so long. Like occasionally he'll post something on like Instagram and people will be like, "Oh my God, he posted a snippet. He's working on new music," and just nothing comes of it.
Yeah.
It's like so weird.
There's a
Uh,
minor crackling sound coming from your microphone. Not sure if you can do anything about that, but I thought you
I don't
should know.
know. Can you still hear it?
Yes.
Is it like really distracting or is it like
Only a little bit, I'd say.
okay? Let's hope it just kind of goes away.
Okay. Go on
Uh,
ahead. It might be on my end
yeah.
too, I'm not sure. Go ahead.
Hmm. Where do I go from there? Good Guy is interesting. That's one of the songs that's like 1 minute long, but
Hmm.
like that's kind of the one of the ones where like it's outwardly like because he's bisexual, but like that's
Oh,
one of the ones that like kind of outwardly is about a man.
I see.
Uh, and I think that one's kind of an interesting point where it's just like him like reminiscing on this relationship where like him and this guy like meet and it just kind of doesn't work and like
Hmm.
it's just like mutual and like it's not really like devastating, but
Yeah.
kind of like I think that's like an interesting point in the album. Uh, this album does a talk. It's not like it's more like subtextual, but there's definitely like a lot of elements of like him talking about his sexuality on this album. I
Yeah.
mean, even with the title of the album.
Hmm.
So I don't know if you noticed this. The title of the album is Blonde with an E.
Yeah.
The album
I did
cover
notice
doesn't
the
have
E.
the album cover doesn't have the E on it.
Wait, it doesn't?
Yeah.
What the flip? What's the
Which
deal with that?
is a reference to his bisexuality because blonde is one of the only in the English language. It's so like in the English language we don't have a lot of like gendered words.
Yeah.
Blonde is like one of the only ones.
Wait, really?
Yeah, blonde is I forget which is which. Uh but blonde without the E is usually masculine and blonde with the E is feminine.
Huh. Did not know
Yeah.
that. There you go. Okay.
So it's kind of a reference to that, and I think that's cool.
Women and men referenced in the album, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Uh that's kind of there's some just like kind of like I don't know, like nerd emoji shit that I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like some of this might come across as that, but like I don't know. I don't think
Well,
I don't know how to describe that.
I'll
Like
just make fun of you. How about that?
it's stuff so it's like obvious to people who really know this album, but like wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Shit.
I can hear you. Bro, can you not hear me anymore? Well, ain't this just the darndest thing? Um, Welt.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yes. Yes.
Okay, I
Okay. Hi, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. Back at it
We
again.
we got to do more tests of this.
Yeah, we'll do something before next week, I think. But please continue.
1 second. But yeah, I've been talking a lot. Do you have anything you kind of want to say about like?
Yeah, I mean, I think the album, I kind of feel bad because, like, I do think a lot of these elements that you've been mentioning would be, like, interesting to delve into, like, knowing it, like, listening to the album now. Because, like, I guess, even though I did listen to it a few times, like, I didn't pick up on a lot of the sonic choices of the album. And I think it's because, I mean, when I was listening to it, it was mostly, like, on the bus and, like, walking and stuff. Um, I typically don't listen to music while doing nothing else, which like is that like bad? I don't know what the
No, I listen to
yeah.
music while doing stuff all the time.
Okay, yeah. So
Uh,
'cause it yeah, I
today,
go ahead.
when I was I listened to the album kind of one more time in preparation
Hmm.
before this, and that was like one of the listens I did where I was just kind of focusing on the music.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
I I was just kind of like reading the lyrics on
Yeah.
Genius while I was listening to it, and like that was like that is like really helped me like appreciate it even more than I already did. Was just
Yeah.
like doing that and
Yeah.
like I don't know like I don't do that with a lot of albums these days,
Hmm.
or just like ever. Uh, which I guess kind of just sucks, but like I should. I've been wanting to do that with Kendrick's discography
Yeah.
because I
I
think
mean
he
like
has.
you kind of need to find an artist where that's like it's warranted, I guess, because I feel like not all songs and albums warrant like a deep dive, if that makes sense. Uh,
That's every album Kendrick released is like
yeah.
everything he's released is part of an overarching like story.
Mm-hmm. It's like
So
One
like
Piece in that way.
yeah, and like I yeah Kendrick is yeah he's amazing. We should send him one of his albums sometime.
I'd be down. Um, But
This is just
yeah,
a random tangent. Did you follow the beef at all?
of course, yeah. I feel like everyone did. Everyone and their mama did.
Yeah. I wanted to. This is definitely not related, but I want to mention this for like 2 minutes. That was like one of the most like fun things in music in years. Is that beef?
Yeah, I agree.
It got a little depressing at points, but like
Yeah. And
with like meet the grams.
yeah. And I mean, like, we can all agree that Drake won because he's like
Oh yeah, absolutely. He
awesome.
released the Heart Part 6.
Yeah,
Oh, awesome.
that got him. Hey man,
Yeah.
don't call me a PDF file downloader. That was basically
Oh yeah,
the
that's
that song.
he said like how could I be that? Like I'm such a big
I'm
artist.
famous. How good?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty airtight argument. Yeah, but yeah, no, I enjoyed that. Even though, yeah, as I said, I haven't been listening to rap as much, and I mean, honestly, not a lot of music besides like electronic music lately, except for I did listen to Alex G this week. But
Did you
yeah,
listen to the I feel like there's some stuff. You listen to Brad, right?
yeah, of course, in the remix.
Brad's my Brad's my album. I haven't listened to the remix yet, but
Oh, I was
Brad's
just
my
saying
album of
that
the year.
while you were disappeared, I was saying I listened to that album and I thought it was really, really good. Really, really good,
Oh,
really good.
nice.
Yeah.
But the new if you haven't heard the new Porter Robinson,
Oh, I
have
have.
you heard
I
that?
have. Yeah, I
It's
liked
it's
it.
very it's very good.
Yeah.
Cheerleader is in my top five
Oh,
songs of the
yeah.
year for
I was
sure.
listening to
Cheerleader is
that.
unbelievable.
Yeah, I was listening to that a ton before the album came out. Yeah, it's like one of my favorite singles that has come out this year for sure.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we have like a ton of time left. I know there's like a lot of like a lot of technical difficulties with it. But I think I
Yeah.
got like mainly my point across is I kind of just wanted to gush about this album.
Oh wait, I just
Oh,
realized that Two Doghouse said that he got introduced to the beef by Jujutsu Kaisen memes, which sounds about right for for you. That's kind of funny.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
funny.
as you were saying.
Uh, because Blonde is like I've been like so like with like all of my like favorite like pieces of art.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's something that like ties them all together.
Yeah.
Something that is almost like some of it's a lot. They have something in common that like I just can't articulate. Like it's like this,
Mm-hmm.
It's a Wonderful Life for and like Into Evangelion for movies and
Yeah.
2001, those
Yeah.
three.
Hmm.
And for games, it'd be like
Earthbound?
Earthbound, Silent Hill 2, and like Amori
Yeah.
are like three big ones. And like I think it's just like emotional resonance, not
Yeah.
really, but it's like it feels like something deeper than that. There's like something very like
It speaks to you.
I think that's like I mean like putting it in like the simplest of terms, like I think
Mm-hmm.
that's it. Is that those not those albums, but like those piece of
Piece.
art, piece of
Yeah.
media
Mm-hmm.
just really speak to me in particular. And I feel like there's also just something that really connects them all
Yeah.
that I just like can't, that feels like beyond that. I don't know, like I need to maybe do some like soul searching. I
Pondering.
don't
Some
know,
pondering.
pondering.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I've gone through like phases with this album where like there are parts of me that are like, would I change anything about this album? Uh, the and I think there are times where like some of the shorter songs I'd be like, maybe you didn't need to put that there.
Yeah.
But I've kind of grown to be like, I think everything on this album exists for a reason, and like I wouldn't change anything about it. Maybe Close to You kind of doesn't feel like it fits, but like that's the
Yeah.
only thing I can think of. And that song is still like it's a nice little like interlude piece. It's like a Stevie Wonder cover, I think.
Hmm.
Uh, and just like when this album like hits, like it hits so hard, and
Yeah.
it's just there's nothing like it, and I love it so much,
Hell yeah.
and I'm like I know like it's not like your favorite, obviously, but like just like being able to introduce this to you was so cool, and I'm just like excited
Awesome.
that you like gave it a listen, and like I hope you and like you're not obligated to, but I hope you give it like even more of a chance.
I mean, I definitely want to after hearing everything that you've said. It definitely like yeah, has inspired me to listen to the album more. But yeah.
I would also recommend I mentioned this earlier, but definitely check out Channel Orange
Okay, yeah,
because
yeah.
Channel Orange is like it's also an awesome album. There's songs on an album that you've probably heard just like
Mm,
growing up. Like I
yeah.
remember like thinking about you, like I remember just being like, "Whoa, I've heard that song." Like that's
Yeah.
crazy. It's like I don't know, it doesn't like Frank Ocean, it's like seems like he's such like a I guess he's kind of like in like this like alternative space you think of it, but like he is like such a big artist.
Yeah, it says on Spotify that he's the 98th most popular artist in the world. So,
That's crazy. I didn't know he
yeah.
was that high.
Yeah, neither did I. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, there
Uh,
you go.
but yeah, I love Frank Ocean. I love his music. I hope that he eventually does release new music.
Hmm.
Uh, if like what he dropped is his legacy and like he doesn't really release anything. If it's like another like Lauryn Hill situation,
Yeah.
you know about Lauryn Hill?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
Lauryn Hill like released one album and like it's one of the greatest like rap albums of all time.
Hmm.
Uh, that's kind of like her legacy, and like she just hasn't released like anything since. But like still such a beloved album, and I feel
Yeah.
like if Frank just decides not to release anything new, that might be his legacy. Is just like these two albums and like some of the side stuff, like the mixtape and the Endless Project.
Yeah. It's pretty chill
But
to
yeah,
me.
but to anyone listening to this, listen to Blonde.
Hmm.
Do it. Just listen to it.
You heard it here first, folks. Listen to Blonde.
Yes.
Uh, dope. Well, before we sign off, I do want to do one thing.
Oh, we forgot.
Let's do shout out hour. What? I don't even remember what time we used to do that. Was it like
I think
24?
37. 37.
37? Okay, yeah, there you go. I don't even remember. But yeah, shout out to all the listeners listening right now. Now I can point
Shout
at the
out to the
camera.
Larter Nation.
Shout out to the Larter Nation. Shout out to Gage Broberg for lending me a physics textbook. Shout out to
Fuck yes.
Espen for driving me from Sweden to Norway when I was sick with COVID. Shout out to Two Doghouse and my mom and Zaf. Uh,
Zaf. Shout out Zaf.
Shout out Zaf. And shout out to you, the listener or the viewer.
Absolutely. Shout out to just like everyone, man. you know,
Hell
uh,
yeah. Wait,
shout
we're
out to
lucky we're streaming on a Friday because you can watch Thursday night football on Twitch now. Is that a bot? Is that a
Skronkle.
bot? Or is that a
No.
Okay, well, thank you, Skronkle.
Skronkle was created in 2015.
Okay. Thanks for the
Thanks
tip,
for the first time chat,
Skronkle.
Skronkle.
Yeah, shout out to Skronkle.
Shout out to Skronkle. And shout out to everyone.
Yep, shout out to Oh, that's your bit. Thank you, Skronkle.
Oh, that's your bit. Thank you,
I think I know who
Skronkle.
this is then. Uh, but yeah, awesome. Well, I think that about does it, folks. Any
Yeah.
final words before we log off?
Thank you all for listening. I'm really glad we're doing this again. Obviously, we have some like irons we need to no wrinkles we need to iron out, irons we need to wrinkle
Things,
out. Uh,
some
yeah,
things. Yeah.
but like I think this is gonna be great, and I'm excited for all this.
Yeah, that's what I gotta say. Um, Yeah, I think we'll probably do some testing in the coming week to try to fix things up. But unless you hear otherwise, same time next week, 7 p.m. right here. Tune
Absolutely.
tune in again.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you all for
Well,
listening.
thanks everyone. Have a wonderful Friday evening and good night.
Let's get it.